Hey Tina, are you there? I just wanted to let you know that my mom sent me a message to thank you for yesterday. She says that she really enjoyed the meal that you prepared for all of us.
Oh, yeah, she actually sent me a message too saying all of that. I was so happy that she enjoyed it. To be honest, I was really, really nervous about it.
Oh, really? You were? You know that there's no need to be nervous around my mom, right?
I know, but how can I not be? Especially when it comes to cooking for her. After all, doesn't she teach her own cooking classes? I was just waiting for her to tear into my food and how overcooked or overseasoned or something that it was.
I don't really think that my mom would say those things to someone, even if she did think that. But, anyways, I thought that what you made yesterday was really great. I could tell that you really put a lot of effort into making sure that it turned out well.
Well, when you told me that your mom was going to come over to have dinner with us, I went out the night before to buy all of the ingredients that I would need. I wanted to make sure that nothing could go wrong when I was in the kitchen that day.
Yeah, I remember you running around a lot that day. You seemed really stressed, which I am sorry about. But I'm glad it all ended well. Besides, who would have guessed that my mom would want to come over so soon after you and I got married? If anything, I should be sorry about that, you know?
Of course you shouldn't be sorry. There's nothing wrong with that. Besides, I also want to get to know your mom well so that we can get along in the future. If anything, I felt like this was a good chance to try and score some points with her. I mean, we got to talk too much yesterday evening, even about cooking. Not only that, but then your mom saw that I had her cookbook and even offered to sign it for me. It was awesome! Or maybe I was just so swept up in the moment, but either way.
I think that you're just fine, Tina. And I'm glad that you said you want to get closer to my mom. That means a lot to me.
Well, I really do mean it. But I guess more than anything, I'm just glad that we don't already have issues as mother and daughter-in-law. That's what I was worried about most.
Well, I think I also did a good job of warming up my mom to meet you. She basically knew what she was in for. Besides, my mom is a pretty straightforward person anyways.
I guess I kind of lucked out getting someone like her as my mother-in-law then. After all, I know that we did marry a bit older than others. We're already both in our 30s after all.
Well, I know that. After all, we're the same age, aren't we?
I know, but you know how women are always pressured to get married younger than men are, right? So I was just worried that me being the age that I am might have been off-putting to your parents or something. I've known a few other women my age who have gotten married, and they were telling me how their in-laws are already asking about grandchildren. Apparently, even some of these friends of mine were even asked by their in-laws if they could even have children.
Well, that has taken things just a bit too far, I would have to say. Besides, having a kid is a delicate thing in any situation, and it's not like people get married just to have babies.
That's right. I suppose at the end of the day, we just have to know that we know what's best for us. Although I was so happy that your mom never said anything to me about children at all. I was so thankful for that.
Well, I'm just happy to see that it sounds like you and my mom should be getting along just fine.
Actually, I was thinking of taking one of your mom's cooking classes sometime in the future.
Oh, really? When did you decide this? This is the first that I'm hearing about it, I think.
Well, I just asked your mom now when she messaged me. I asked if I could come along one day and she said she would be happy to have me in class.
Well, that's just perfect. And it does make sense. After all, you were talking to my mom yesterday about how you wanted to improve your cooking.
I know! And now I get to do this! It's so exciting! I think I might even have to go out and buy a new apron or something.
Well, it is a cooking class, but it's usually a small number of people, and my mom just does it all at her house. So you don't have to go all out just to attend the class, you know?
Well, sure, but you can't just ignore the fact that your mom has published her own cookbook. The class may be small, but that doesn't diminish what you can learn from it. I really think you need to acknowledge just how amazing your mom is a bit more.
Oh, trust me. I think my mom is great. I should know. She's my mom, after all.
You say that, but I still think that you don't get it.
Maybe not. But as long as you and my mom are getting along, that's all there really is to get.
I am still just so happy that I have such a nice mother-in-law. Maybe I should bring her some kind of gift or something when I go to take the class.
I don't really think that's a requirement for the class in any way, but I'm sure that if you did, my mom would love it.
Great! Maybe I'll just buy some treats we can all enjoy during the class. Anyways, sorry for talking to you all the way through your lunch break. I also have to go and do some shopping right now.
No problem. We can talk more at home. Good luck with all that you have to do. Hey, Tina. I just wanted to let you know that my boss told me I have to take some time off. He said that if I didn't, my PTO would just start going to waste, so...
Oh, I see. Well, actually, now that you mention that, I don't think that we've gone anywhere since we got married.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me. But anyways, would you want to go away for a couple of days somewhere?
Really? You mean you want to take a trip with me somewhere?
The thing is that I just noticed you've been acting kind of down. And when I've tried to ask you about it, you told me that it's nothing to worry about, which of course just makes me worried. So, I thought this might be a good suggestion to try and cheer you up.
Rod, you're so sweet. Thank you so much.
Of course. But you know that you can talk to me about anything, right? I've been really worried seeing you act this way.
But I don't even know how I would begin to talk about what's been on my mind lately.
I see. Well, I also wanted to ask you if you think you'd enjoy having my mom come along with us as well.
I don't know. I still feel like we're basically newlyweds, and I'd really like to get to take more trips, just the two of us.
Oh, I see. I just figured that earlier you were so gung-ho about getting to know my mom better. I just figured that if she also come along with us, that the two of you could get to hang out. But I'm also fine taking a trip just the two of us.
Actually, Rod, there's something that I wanted to talk to you about. It has to do with your mom.
You want to talk to me about my mom? What do you want to talk about?
Well, the truth is that your mom really scares me.
You're afraid of my mom? But why? I don't get it. I mean, did something happen between the two of you while you were at her cooking class?
Well, your mom. She was bullying me.
Wait, what? What do you mean by that? What do you mean she was bullying you?
Are you telling me that you don't believe me? Although I can't say that I blame you. She always acts so nice when you're around.
I'm sorry, Tina. It's just... I can't even imagine my mom acting that way. But of course it's not that I don't believe you. Do you think you could tell me some of the things my mom has been doing to you?
Okay, well, she totally made fun of me in front of all the other students in the class. And then, when it was just the two of us, she started calling me names and saying all these horrible things. She said that she still has no idea why you chose to be with a woman like you. And then she told me that I was terrible at taking care of the house and that I was a bad wife.
She really said all of that? That's horrible. I'm so sorry, Tina. I really had no idea that my mom was doing or saying any of these things.
It's okay. I guess I just know a bit better how she feels about me. And my age? You know, now that I think about it, I doubt that she even really liked my cooking.
Tina, of course that's not true. Look, I want you to know that you're a good wife, okay?
I don't know. I just don't feel like I'll ever be good enough for you.
So wait a second. Is part of the reason why you've been so down lately is because of the way my mom has been treating you?
I didn't want to say anything, but it's true. I only wanted to be friends with your mom. And I know that this has to come as a shock to you as well.
It really does. But I'm just so sorry you've been going through all of this.
You don't have anything to be sorry for. It's not your fault at all. If anything, it's all mine for not being the kind of person that your mom could ever like.
I'm gonna talk to my mom about this. I'm gonna make her apologize to you.
No, you can't do that, please. If you do that, then that will just make things way worse.
But how am I supposed to just sit here and read all of this and do nothing?
Maybe we could just try and make sure that we see her a little less? I know that she might talk bad about me to you a little, but I'm sure that'll all pass.
Well, if that's really what you want, then okay, I won't say anything to her. But are you sure that this is how you want to handle it?
I'm sure. And I'm just so grateful to know that you trust me on this.
Of course. You're my wife, and I'm here to protect you, no matter what. There's nothing to worry about anymore. I'll make sure that you and Mom don't see each other anymore.
Thank you so much. Just reading that message, I already feel a bit better.
All right, then. I guess this means that it's just going to be you and me on this trip, then. But that's okay. It just means you and I can have fun and forget all about my mom.
Hello there, Rod. I was just curious if you remembered that your uncle's memorial service was today.
Oh, I remember. Don't worry.
Well, that's good to hear. But there's something that I'd like to talk to you about after the service. Do you think you could come to my house afterwards? Alone?
But isn't the service going to be near your house? Don't you think that I should bring Tina with me for this?
No. I think it would be better if it were just you. So please come alone. Besides, she never even met your uncle.
Wow, that's kind of a rude way of putting things, don't you think?
Do you really think so? I was just stating a fact is all. I mean, I just don't think that anyone really enjoys going to funerals. But that would be especially so for ones for people who you don't even know.
I guess. But she's still my wife and still part of this family.
I just really don't think that Tina would even want to show up to something like this.
Well, there's actually something that I've been waiting to talk to you about, Mom. Have you been bullying Tina lately?
Wait, what? Where is this coming from all of a sudden? Did Tina tell you that I was being mean to her?
You know, that sounds like just the thing that somebody who's been caught red-handed would say. I thought you and her were trying to get along. You were so happy when the two of us got married.
Well, I'm afraid that my feelings have changed on the matter since then.
But what does that even mean? Why have your feelings changed?
If I can be honest with you, Rod, I really wish that you would divorce her. I don't think that you should have anything to do with her at all.
I'm sorry. You want me to leave, Tina? How can you even ask me something like that? What's the matter with you, Mom? I don't think I want you coming near me or Tina ever again, okay? I can't have you in my life if you're going to treat my wife so horribly.
Okay, well, you should know that I never do anything to your wife at all.
But you did. Even the way you were talking about her right now was rude. Did you know that Tina came to me telling me that she was scared of you? She was scared to even talk to me about this.
The reason I wanted you to come by to the memorial service by yourself was because I wanted to talk to you about Tina. I would appreciate it if you made your decision about me after you heard what I have to say.
Hey, Rod, I'm really sorry. I was talking to some friends, and before I knew it, it was already so late. But I'm just about to start heading back home now.
Why even bother coming back home?
Wait, what? I don't understand. What is that about? Are you mad because I'm coming home late or something?
I heard all about the kind of person you are from my mom. I heard that you were even so mean that you drove people from your old company to quit before you left.
Wait a second, are you talking about Carly from work?
That's right.
No, you've got that all wrong. That was just a misunderstanding.
I wanted to hope that was true, until Carly showed me proof of how you forced her to take responsibility for all of your mistakes at work. And then you even spread lies and rumors about her too, didn't you? Not only that, but you were also stealing from the company if you ran out of money before payday. Isn't that right?
Rod, this is just ridiculous. Of course I haven't done any of this. I just happened to get wrapped up in a bad crowd. But it's not like I was the person leading everyone in that.
Oh, really? Because Carly made it sound exactly like you were the ringleader with that theft.
Well, I'm sure that Carly has her own version of events. But anyways, I know that she takes cooking classes with your mom, so I'm sure she's been whispering her lies to your mom for a while. But you know that you can't believe someone like her, right?
Do you even know the kinds of things she told my mom? I mean, she didn't even need to say anything. When you walked into the classroom, Carly literally puked, didn't she? That's how much she just likes you. Her body literally physically can't stand to be around you. That's why my mom reached out to her after she left. She wanted to make sure everything was okay.
Well, it sounds to me Carly was just putting on a big show for attention then. I mean, if her body really is so fragile, then maybe she shouldn't be going out to cooking classes in the first place. Besides, don't you care at all about the way I've been struggling with your mom?
You know, Carly was actually someone who was really impacted by my mom's book. After you drove her to quit her job, she happened to pick up my mom's book. Cooking the recipes in that book was one of the few joys that she could find in life after you drove her from the office.
Rod, you really are getting this all wrong. I only did what I did because I was being told to.
Well, I don't think that made much of a difference to Carly. She was still hurt either way. I think this is why you wanted us to keep distance from my mom. She told me that she called you to ask you to apologize to Carly. And that was when you told me my mom was bullying you.
But she was bullying me! Please, you have to believe me, Rod!
How can I after listening to my mom and Carly talk to me about what you did? And especially after Carly showed me the text of what you were saying to her. I really wanted to believe you, Tina. I wanted to believe that you didn't do anything wrong. But I can't do that anymore.
I'm so sorry, Rod. I know that you must think I'm just a terrible person. But the only reason I did what I did was because I didn't want you to know about my past. That's why I tried to blame this all on your mom. I really am so sorry. I swear I'll apologize to your mom and Carly. Just please don't tell me not to come home.
No, you really don't have to come home at all. In fact, I want a divorce.
What, Rod? Please, you can't be serious about that. Surely we can move past this, right? I mean, you don't really want to leave me over this.
I'm not sure whether or not I can forgive you for this. And if I thought you were actually going to show any remorse, then I might be able to. But Carly told me about how you were seeing someone else while we were dating. But she told me about how you were telling the girls in the office that you were going to marry me just because I was the one with the money. But that the other guy you were seeing was way more your type of man. But Carly told me about how even after we got married, you kept seeing this guy. There were already plenty of rumors flying around the office about it.
No, that isn't true. You have to believe me. It really isn't true.
I don't even want to hear it from you anymore. Besides, I can't say that I blame you. He is a handsome-looking guy.
You mean that you looked him up?
That's right. After talking to Carly and my mom, I hired a PI to look into him so that I could gather evidence for the divorce. And it really wasn't hard to find said evidence. So, now we're going to get a divorce. You're going to pay for cheating on me, and then I'm going to make sure you never mess with my life or family again. Goodbye, Tina. It took about a whole month before the divorce process was finalized since Tina was fighting every step of the way. In fact, right after I sent that message, Tina apparently passed out and didn't wake up for a few days. I have no idea if she was faking it or not, but when she came to, the divorce papers were still there waiting for her. I have to say that I was so shocked to learn of the kind of person that my wife really was. I really did think that I knew Tina well, but I guess that just goes to show you. Anyways, I apologized to both Carly and my mom for how horrible Tina had been to them. Of course, I had no idea about Tina, but I felt especially bad that I let my mom get sucked into this. After the divorce, Tina agreed to settle for a huge fee outside of the court to not be sued for her affair. After she paid all that she owed me, I heard that she packed up all of her bags and moved away to a new state. But that works just fine with me, since I would be happy if I never ever saw her again.
Good morning, Mr. Miller. I was wondering if I could have a sick leave today. I apologize for the short notice, but I'm currently experiencing a high fever of 103 degrees Fahrenheit. I have tried to get out of bed, but I am too weak and dizzy. I seriously don't want to come to work and risk spreading my illness to others. I've already contacted my doctor and they've advised me to stay at home and rest.
Hazel, I'm concerned that you're not taking the upcoming meeting with our key business partners seriously. This is a critical meeting, and your absence would be a major setback.
Yes, I'm very well aware of that, Mr. Miller. But my body just simply refuses to do as I want.
No, but you and Mr. Jones from our parent company, Evergreen Corp, will be discussing a new project that involves building $1 million hospital for the elderly. This project will be a significant contribution to our company's reputation on the market, and I believe your presence is essential to its success. Therefore, I will not allow you to be absent from your work today.
Mr. Miller, I understand that you are concerned about my upcoming meeting with Mr. Jones, but I am afraid that I am not physically able to attend. I am completely exhausted, and I cannot even lift my fingers. I'm worried that if I force myself to go to work, I will only make myself worse, and I will not be able to contribute to the meeting effectively. On that account, I truly need a sick leave for today so I can rest and recover.
Look, I don't care what your excuses are. You know very well that you're having an important meeting today, aren't you? I informed you about it 2 weeks in advance. So why don't you be a little less selfish and show up at work today for the sake of our company? If you want to ask for a day off, at least tell me 1 week earlier. You've been working for this company for at least 5 years, yet you still haven't got a good grasp of the company's rules and regulations?
Mr. Miller, I know the company's rules like the back of my hand, but how can I predict when I'm about to be sick? That's impossible. So can you please somehow find another person to replace me for the meeting today? Caleb, maybe?
Caleb? What are you talking about? He's enjoying a 1-week vacation with his family. Why would I want to disturb him? He has worked tirelessly and has made significant contributions to our company's success. He deserves to have some days off as a reward for his hard work.
What? You agree to let him have 1 week off, but you don't even allow me to be absent for work for just 1 day? What kind of treatment is that?
Is this the kind of attitude that you should adopt when talking to your boss?
I apologize for my earlier outburst, Mr. Miller. I didn't mean it. I just feel like I'm being treated a little unfairly compared to Caleb, as we both work as project coordinators, that's all. Honestly, I've been devoting my time and effort to the company just as much as Caleb has. I think it's not too much to ask for a day off from work once in a while. I know it's on short notice, but being sick is something that's difficult to control.
Oh, you think that's unfair? Well, welcome to the real world where nothing is fair. You have a responsibility to your job, and you can't just simply shirk that responsibility by suddenly saying that you're sick. You know, if you feel like you're not up for the task, you could always just quit. No one is forcing you to stay. It's funny how you didn't complain about your salary when you were coasting along, but now that you're actually expected to do some work, you're suddenly complaining?
Mr. Miller, you're misunderstanding my point. I love this job, and it also provides me with good wages. I'm not trying to complain or say that I'm not up to the job's expectations. I'm just simply asking for a day off because I'm literally not good enough to work today.
Fine, you want a sick leave for today? You can have it. But remember to submit your request for sick leave tomorrow when you come to the office along with your resignation letter. If you don't, I'll compose a termination letter and send it to you personally.
Mr. Miller, are you threatening to give me the sack just because I'm requesting a day off? I'm curious as to why you're treating me in this manner. I'm certain you're aware that your actions are in violation of employment law.
Well, I'm not threatening anyone. As your employer, I can see that you don't have any respect for your superior and you don't fulfill the requirements of this job. If we fail to enter into a contract with Evergreen Corp today because of your recklessness, it would make more than enough reason for you to be dismissed. The choice is all yours. I'm not forcing you to do anything.
Please, Mr. Miller, there must be another way to carry out the meeting without me having to show up. Can you please take the call, Mr. Miller?
You've done a great job yesterday, Hazel. You got us another big contract. Your convincing skills have been instrumental in helping us win one contract after another. I must give you credit for that.
Great, I'm glad everything worked out in the end. But I almost fainted after the meeting was over because the fever went really bad. Luckily, Mr. Jones figured that out and he took me to the hospital in time. I hope that you realize it could be a life-threatening situation, Mr. Miller.
Oh, come on. Don't be such a drama queen. The fact is, you're still well and alive, aren't you? If not, you wouldn't be able to stand up, let alone sulk at me like this. Consider it a valuable lesson for your amateurism at work. You're all grown up, stop being childish and unreasonable, and then expect someone to clean after your mess.
Please, Mr. Miller, don't get me wrong. I was just defending the legal rights that an employee deserves to have. And I still think that I did deserve to have a day off yesterday due to my high fever. I'm not trying to flatter myself, but I'm even worthy of receiving a bonus for having managed to go to work yesterday despite my sickness.
So now you're demanding extra money for fulfilling the job duty that you already get paid for? How entitled of you. You should consider yourself lucky that I didn't dock your pay for today's penalty time. It took you nearly 4 hours to complete a task that should have been done in 2 hours. If I were feeling less merciful, I would have deducted 2 hours worth from your salary.
But Mr. Miller, please be mindful of the fact that I ran a fever of almost 103 degrees Fahrenheit yesterday. Nevertheless, you still insisted on me showing up at the workplace today. I mean, I didn't even have time to fully recover from my illness.
Oh, please, you're being overdramatic again. Yesterday, you were rushed to the hospital right after the meeting, which means that you had practically the entire daytime yesterday to regain your strength from your meager episode of the vapors. What more do you want, actually?
I'm sorry, Mr. Miller, but I don't even have to be a doctor to tell that a 103-degree Fahrenheit fever is a high-grade fever. In fact, I was at my physical limit and I was about to collapse. I'm wondering if there's a way to improve the way I'm being treated, Mr. Miller, especially compared to the benefits that Caleb is receiving.
Well, if you're feeling like you're being treated unfairly, I suppose you could always leave. We don't need people who are always complaining. On the other hand, if you would like to stay, I expect to see your face at work tomorrow.
But, Mr. Miller...
Another thing, I need you to also take on Caleb's workload while he is enjoying his vacation. He won't be able to get his work done on time, so it's important that we pick up the slack. However, please don't use this as an excuse to delay your own deadlines. We need to make sure that everything gets done on time.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Miller, but there's no way I'm going to accept covering Caleb's responsibilities on his behalf, because I've learned my lesson from last time. I won't let myself be taken advantage of anymore. I'm going to stand up for myself and my boundaries.
Hazel, what are you even talking about? Are you implying that I'm taking advantage of you? Me? You were fully cognizant, T, that your previous statement was a deliberate assault against my person, yet you persisted in making it. Is that the way an employee should be talking with their boss? I don't think so. I think an employee should be respectful and professional even when they disagree with their boss.
I'm not saying that I'm not willing to help Caleb again, but I'm not sure if it's worth my time. The last time I helped him, I didn't gain anything from it. In fact, I think it actually hurt my own productivity. And to make matters worse, Caleb even got recognition, praise, and a bonus for what was supposed to be my effort and contribution.
Oh, Hazel, I've always seen you as a lazy, complaining employee. But now I'm finding out that you're also incredibly selfish. Well, that's just great. Honestly, why don't you just set aside your selfishness for once and do what I say for the good of the company, huh?
Mr. Miller, it's simply not true what you just said.
It's not like you're doing anything productive anyway. You're just sitting around complaining about how hard you have it. Well, guess what? Life is hard. And if you want to get ahead, you need to be willing to put in the work. So stop being so selfish and start thinking about the company. If you don't, you're going to find yourself out on your ear.
Mr. Miller, I seriously don't have any clue what you're talking about. I don't claim myself the most hardworking employee in the company, but I'm proud of my achievements and the contributions I've made to the company's growth. That's why I think it's totally not true when you say that I'm just sitting around and not doing anything productive.
Look, I'm not going to waste my time arguing back and forth with you. If you're feeling dissatisfied, please pack your things and leave the office by tomorrow. I'd be more than glad not to see you around anymore. To be honest, you're just a blip on the radar and your contributions are negligible. Do you really think that the company will be unable to function without you?
But Mr. Miller, please have sympathy for my family's circumstances. I'm a single mother of 2 children. I truly need this job to support my family. I have been with the company for half a decade, and I have worked hard to build my career here. If I quit this job, I'll have to start my career over from scratch, take a low-paying job, and I won't be able to provide for my family anymore.
Does any of what you just said have anything to do with me? Don't delude yourself that you're the only person in the world who has a family to support and needs money to get by. Wake up and face reality. Everyone else is dealing with the same issues as you're having right now, so your excuses mean nothing to me.
Mr. Miller, I am simply asking for fairness. I'm not asking for special treatment, but I am asking for the same treatment that everyone else receives. I believe that this is a fair request, and I hope that you'll consider it.
Fine, whatever you say. I sometimes find myself wondering who is the superior here, you or me? Hazel, are you there? There's something I need to talk to you about. It's urgent.
Yes? What is it, Mr. Miller? I'm happy to help you in any way possible. By the way, Mr. Miller, I wanted to take a moment to thank you for taking my words into consideration and giving me more respect for my rights recently. I appreciate your willingness to listen to my concerns and to make changes that have made my work life more enjoyable.
Listen, Hazel, I know it's Sunday and you're not supposed to work today. Nevertheless, I have a small request and I expect you to say yes to it.
Okay, Mr. Miller, tell me.
My mom is not feeling well and I need your help. I'm going on a relaxing trip to Switzerland with my family today, but I can't leave my mom alone at the hospital. Could you please rush to the hospital and help me watch over her? We've planned and paid everything for this trip, so we can't just cancel it.
Well, I suppose. But why don't you just hire a caretaker?
Come on, it's not like my mom is going to stay at the hospital forever. She'll be staying there only for 1 month, so I don't think it's necessary to hire a caretaker for that. Besides, it also costs a lot of money, and I'm not going to pay that amount.
I know that hiring a private caretaker can be expensive, but I think it would be the best way to ensure your mom gets the care she needs. Besides, I'd appreciate it if you informed me a few days earlier so I have more time to prepare myself.
No, I've already made up my mind. In fact, why should I waste my hard-earned money for some stupid caretakers when I already have you, my excellent employee? So, what do you say? If you agree, please go to Golden Years Hospital, room 305. Just provide the hospital staff with my mom's name and date of birth, and they'll show you how to get to my mom's room.
But, Mr. Miller, I also need to make time for my personal life. I've been working hard all week, and I even have to work on a side job on Saturdays. Sunday is the only day that I have to relax and spend time with my friends and family.
Tell me, what is more important than taking care of a vulnerable elderly woman like my mom? I presume that you also have a mother, correct? You should be able to understand this better than anyone else. Anyways, I'm not asking you to do it, I'm telling you to. Consider it a way to repay me for the kindness I've shown you at work lately.
Wait, you said that your mom's gonna be at the hospital for a whole month? But I also have to work and take care of my family, you know. So how will I find time to handle all of my responsibilities, given that I have to work and take care of my family, and now your mom needs care as well? Can you please find someone else to attend to your mom?
I don't care how you do it, just get it done. Keep in mind that taking care of my mom and accomplishing your work are now your top priorities. I may not be at the office, but Caleb is keeping an eye on you. So don't even think that you can slack off by doing me a little favor.
Mr. Miller, I think what you're asking of me is a little unreasonable.
I've told you this 1,000,000 times, but you still force me to repeat myself for you. Don't interrupt me when I'm not finished talking. Anyways, I also expect you to clean my house once in a while. Caleb is having my house key, so you can come to him and ask for it. Another thing, if you have the slightest intention of stealing anything from me, forget about it. I have 24/7 surveillance cameras installed in every corner of my house, so you're not going to get away with anything. Hazel, you did a really good job at taking care of both my mom and my house while I was gone. My mom was so impressed with your care that she even mistook you for a professional caregiver. Can you believe it?
Happy to hear you're pleased with what I did. It's the result of me running back and forth between the hospital and your house every day after work to take care of both your mom and your household chores. Honestly, I didn't have enough time to sleep.
I can see that my house has been carefully swept and cleaned as well. The floors and countertops are spotless and the furniture looks polished. Well done. I might even consider hiring you as my family's housekeeper, but only if you're willing to work for free. Just kidding, or am I?
Nice joke.
Oh, I forgot to ask, how's work? Is everything good? Did you fulfill all of the tasks that I assigned you before I went on my vacation? I figured you did, because I didn't receive any text from Caleb.
You bet I did.
To think about it, it feels kind of strange because not once during my entire trip did anyone from the company text or call me about work. Well, I must have been lucky. You know what, Hazel? That was the most satisfying and relaxing vacation I've ever had for a very long time. I'm feeling so refreshed and I can't wait to get back to work tomorrow morning.
Well, about that, Mr. Miller, I have something I want to tell you.
What is it that's so difficult to tell? Wait, you and other people at the company are gonna throw me a surprise party tomorrow, like you did last time? Well, I really appreciate you guys' thoughts, but you don't have to do it for me. Seriously. I'm just happy to be back at work, and I'd rather just keep things low-key.
It's not about that, Mr. Miller. Honestly, I don't know how to put it, but your employment with the company is being terminated, Mr. Miller.
What are you saying? You mean that I'm being fired? That's not even possible. I haven't done anything out of line to get myself in trouble. Wait, did you badmouth me to Mr. Jones? That's the only thing I can think of. You're the only one petty enough to do something like that. I knew I couldn't trust people like you. You're all just a bunch of backstabbers.
Well, you're half right. I did talk to Mr. Jones about you, but I didn't mean to get you fired. I just told him the truth and nothing but the truth.
What truth? You're getting on my nerves. Tell me now.
Firstly, don't get me wrong, but I didn't intentionally meet Mr. Jones in person. We accidentally bumped into each other when I was taking care of your mom in the hospital. It turns out that Mr. Jones's mother had fallen ill, so he was spending all his time taking care of her. I must admit, the way he took care of her was truly heartwarming. He was so attentive and loving, and it was clear that he cared deeply for her. I'm sure any mother would be lucky to have a son like him.
Hey, can you please cut to the chase? I don't have the time or patience for this nonsense. What did you say about me to Mr. Jones behind my back?
Well, as I said, nothing but the truth. I told him that you forced me to go to work when I had a high fever, assigned me all of the work that was meant for your favorite employee, Caleb, and even made me take care of your mother in the hospital. You don't know how shocked Mr. Jones was when he learned that the person I was caring for wasn't my own mother, but it was your mother.
How dare you badmouth me like that, you witch! You're gonna pay for what you did to me.
To be honest, I didn't want to rat you out, but Mr. Jones insisted on knowing what was going on and what other things you had done to me. I had no choice but to tell him everything. Mr. Jones was so angry at the way you treated me that he decided you were no longer fit to be the director of our company. So that's basically the whole story.
No, this can't be happening. You do realize that you just ruined my career and my life, Hazel? You have to take responsibility for what you did. Come and talk to Mr. Jones again. Say that it was just a little misunderstanding between the two of us. That you made up all those lies just to take me down.
You know what, Mr. Miller? Or should I call you by your first name? Ryan, right? I did feel sorry for you, and I also thought of helping you clear my name. But alternatively, why should I ever do that? I was simply stating the facts, so I have no reason to feel guilty. You, on the other hand, took advantage of my kindness and made me do all kinds of irrelevant tasks for you without even so much as a thank you.
You little... Hazel, my beloved employee, can you please take a moment to calm down and then ask Mr. Jones to reconsider his decision? You already know that my job means everything to me and my family.
I told you the same thing last time, Ryan, and what did I get for it from you? A dressing down. Well, this time, you're on your own. I'm not going to keep bailing you out of your messes. Eventually, Mr. Miller, my toxic boss, was fired. I felt a twinge of sympathy for him, but I was also relieved to be free from his reign of terror. Ryan tried to contact me numerous times after he was fired, but I didn't respond to any of his calls or text messages. After all, I didn't make the decision to fire him. Mr. Jones did. Mr. Jones even promoted me to be the developer for the elderly hospital project after being impressed by my skills in taking care of the elderly and my work ethic. That wasn't the only good news for me. Mr. Jones was also appointed as the new director of the company, replacing my old boss, Ryan. I was thrilled with these developments. I knew that I could contribute to the company's success under Mr. Jones's leadership. I was also grateful to him for believing in me and giving me these opportunities. The world of employment can be a scary place, and dealing with a toxic boss is definitely something I would rather forget. However, it has also taught me valuable lessons, such as knowing my worth, speaking up for myself, fighting for my legal rights, and seeking help from others.